What's going on YouTube? So after years of rumors and speculation, the legendary Acura Integra has finally been revived. Last produced in 2001, Acura has some high expectations to meet with the history of the old Integra, including the Type R. And with Acura's recent push to expand its sports car lineup, we are excited to see if this new DNA has been infused into their most attainable model as well. So does this all-new Integra bring back the magic from the past? Let's go ahead and find out. So for this Resurrected Integra, Acura has done a good job of making it still a fully modern Acura product, but also having some elements that kind of harken back to the past. So taking a look up here at the front design, you'll notice it does have a very similar look to most of your current Acura products, including its big brother, the TLX. Up here with the grille, this is the diamond pentagon grille, but you notice it's a little different. This is a frameless design, which is special to the Integra model. It looks a little bit sportier than the one that's framed in with chrome. And since we have the A-spec model, that is also going to take this lower fascia, make this look a little bit more aggressive, and black it all out in a gloss black trim. As we come over here to our headlights next, these are going to be full LED as standard equipment, of course. As you can see, nice look, which follows again in line with other Acuras with the chicane daytime running light. But here's one of our symbols of the past. We actually have Integra branding right there under the headlight inside of the bumper, which is a really cool throwback. And then finally down here at the bottom, as long as you choose anything but the base Integra, you will also get LED fog lamps. So let's go ahead and talk about your different wheel choices. So you do have a standard 17-inch alloy on just the base model. However, if you choose anything except for the base model, which would be the A-spec and the A-spec technology, that will throw in what you see here. These are 18-inch shark gray finished alloy wheels. I think they look quite nice. They kind of match the paint color on this specific example, and they do remind me of what you get on the TLX A-spec as well. And as we come on up, we do have our signature A-spec branding. And then with our mirrors, we have the LED turn signal built in. You do have standard heating as well as standard blind spot monitoring.
Now the sight is one of the most interesting elements about this all-new Acura Integra, and you can probably guess why. When you look at the side profile, you can tell that this is, of course, a hatchback style 5-door version. So you have that really cool low, long hood, and then it slopes back into the nice, elegant rear design. Now, as far as the overall length is concerned, you're looking at 185.8 inches in overall length, and it does ride on Honda's small vehicle architecture. Now, I also want to point out on the A-spec model, we do have the blacked out window surrounds. It would be chrome on the other models. And then walking around to the rear design itself, this is going to be one of the most controversial parts about the Integra, although it does have a lot of heritage thrown back to those older model Integras, and they just kind of have fully modernized the look. So let's go ahead and break down some of what that is. So up here at the top, for the A-spec model, we are going to have this blacked out spoiler up top. This definitely does help with the overall look of it. And then we have our A-spec branding here, and then let's take a look at our taillights. These taillights are going to be the standard taillights on every single model, and they are full LED, the LED chicane design. I absolutely love the way these taillights look. They look super cool at night too. We also have the amber LED turn signal as well as the LED reverse light. And over here on the right side, we have Integra stamped into the bumper here. I really like that look. And if we drop down to the lower diffuser, you will notice that we have dual integrated exhaust outlets on every single Integra model, which is a really nice touch. Now for your safety systems on the Integra, you are going to be very happy to know that they are throwing in every single one of them as standard equipment on the Integra lineup. So that's certainly a contrast to a lot of the German rivals that you can compare this vehicle to. That's going to be forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, auto high beams, lane keeping assist, as well as adaptive cruise control. Additionally, if you go for the CVT model, that will throw in the traffic jam assistant. And if you go for the tech model, the fully loaded version, you will also have front and rear auto braking. Now, as far as your warranty information is concerned, you have Acura's typical warranty, 4-year 50,000 mile basic warranty, 6-year 70,000 mile powertrain warranty. Additionally, Acura is also throwing in 2 years or 24,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Well guys, that's going to sum up the exterior design of this all-new Acura Integra. I know there's a lot to look at inside, so let's go ahead and check that out.
So walking up to this new Integra, you do have the latest Acura key fob. Of course, you are going to have standard smart entry as well, and if you choose the technology package with the CVT, that's when you'll get remote start, but we do have the manual on this model, so we don't have that. And of course, to get inside, just grab behind the handle, we'll unlock the door. Give you guys a quick look inside, and then we'll go ahead and hop on in. Now, before we talk about the cabin as a whole, I want to start off, as always, by talking about our different interior color and material choices. So the base model and the A-spec model are going to come with a synthetic leather trim seat. However, when you get up to this A-spec with the technology package, that's going to get you this seat right here. It does have the synthetic leather on the outside still, but we do have the special stitching, and we have the suede that runs all through the middle here with the black accents. In terms of colors, this is also going to give you the more exciting color choices. So you have ebony, you have the red, which is what we obviously have here, and you also have an orchid color option. But these seats, really like them. They're super comfortable, nice bolsters to hold you in place, and I like the suede as well and the color contrast. Now, as far as the seat adjustments, we're going to be looking at 8-way power adjusting as standard equipment, 12-way power adjusting when you choose the A-spec technology. Well, let's go ahead and dig into these interior materials and the overall look. So over here on the door trim, we continue to see that red leather reflected all through here. It's going to be padded along the top. And then as far as the windows, they're going to be one-touch auto up and down for the driver and the passenger. As we move on up to the upper dash, this is all going to be finished in a soft touch plastic. And then as we come down to the middle, we have a faux carbon fiber trim, which you'll see go through all this middle section, as well as a nice leather pad, which kind of bends down and goes around on the passenger side. On the driver's side, there's not actually going to be a pad, and then you have the nice piano black that runs all through here. Now, in terms of the overall look, yes, this does look pretty similar to the Honda Civic, but two things. First of all, the Honda Civic already has a really stellar cabin, so it still feels pretty upscale in here. And secondly, the price tag on this, which we'll talk about later in the video, is not really all that much more than the Civic, so definitely keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and start it up. And right as soon as you start it up, you are going to be greeted with a nice standard feature. That is this 10.2-inch full digital gauge cluster. So you do have plenty of options, and you can change some of the design characteristics when you switch drive modes, for example. So I just clicked into Sport, so it kind of adjusts the color schemes and stuff like that. It is similar to what you get on the fully loaded Honda Civic. But something that you definitely cannot get on a Honda Civic is the fact that we have a head-up display. So this is included on the A-spec technology, so the top-end model, and you do have that nice head-up display. It has lots of information in it, including like your speed limit, as it automatically detects the signs when you drive past. Now, as we pull back, you will find rain-sensing wipers, and you will also find a nice leather-wrapped steering wheel, as you can see, with the dedicated A-spec branding, as well as the nice cross-stitching. As far as the wheel itself, it is of course going to be manual tilt and telescoping, and then you can also get heating, but it is a dealer accessory. But let's go ahead and take a look at interior storage. So turning over here to our center console, as you can see, we do have a relatively small console, but it is expected for a vehicle of this size. It's quite deep though. It goes down, and there's a rubber lining at the bottom of it. And you know we didn't forget our coupons. We brought them to Texas because you got to put every car to the test. So here we go. Let's see how they fit. Look at that, plenty of space to spare, so it does pass the coupon test. Up in front of that, we have two very deep cup holders. And then the very front here, we do have a large area to set your cell phone. If you have that technology package, that will also give you the wireless phone charging pad in this area. And then you've got your 2 USBs as well as a 12-volt outlet. But pulling back here to the shifter, as you can tell, we do have the manual shifter. Really nice feel to this thing. You'll see that a little later in the test drive. And as far as going into reverse, when you go into reverse, you do have a standard backup camera, of course, active trajectory, and you have 3 different views that you can switch between right there. And then right next to that, you do have an electronic parking brake as well as a brake hold function. Here's where you adjust your drive modes. You've got those 3 different drive modes, which we'll talk about a little later in the video. We also have the individual mode since we have the top end model, so you can customize all the different settings to your personal preference. And then finally, if you don't like auto start stop, this is where you can turn it on and off. And rising on up the dashboard, the next place we come to is the climate controls. So as you can see, we do have a nice dual zone automatic climate control setup. Good clicky, high quality buttons, just like with the Honda Civic. And then off to the side, you do have standard 3-stage heated seats. Turn that down a little bit. And let's head on up here to another important aspect of this fully loaded Integra. So with this model, this is going to upgrade you from the standard 8-speaker sound system to the 16-speaker ELS 3D premium sound system. So let's go ahead and give it a sample right now. Yeah, so overall sound quality is very nice. Of course, this is a pretty small cabin, and to have 16 speakers, including speakers right above your head, makes this sound quality absolutely excellent. Additionally, you know, I have to say it, check it out, metal speaker grills over here on the door trim, so these look really nice. And I just like how classy the cabin looks with those metal speaker grills in there and that good sound quality. Okay, so let's return back over here to the display and talk about that next. So you're going to have 2 different displays on board with this Integra. Base and A-spec models will come standard with a 7-inch display. However, when you get to the A-spec technology model, the top end model, that's going to give you this 9-inch display that you're looking at right now. With this display, you're going to get 2 important additional features over that 7-inch display. And that's going to be wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. So I know a lot of you guys definitely like to have that system, so you can just pop your phone down there onto that wireless phone charger pad. You don't have to connect anything physically, and then you've got that Android Auto or Apple CarPlay reflected up here onto the main display. Of course, a big change from what you get in all the other Acura products is the fact that this is actually a touchscreen, so you can just scroll through things very easily. I happen to actually prefer this. And then you can just press these physical shortcut buttons along the side to go back into your main menu where you have all your applications. Although I am noticing one thing is the fact that we don't have a built-in navigation system, so you will be using your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay and Google Maps. Now as we rise on up here to our mirror, this is a frameless auto dimming one. Of course, we're going to find LED lighting up top. And at the roof, we do have a standard sunroof. It is the regular sized unit. Obviously it does open up, and we do have a wind buffer as well.
Well, come on back here and join me in the all-new Integra's rear area. Now, I am very impressed sitting back here. I will just go ahead and preface by saying that we have a very comfortable rear seat, and we're also going to have a lot of space. So let's talk about that space figure first. So we're looking at 37.4 inches of legroom. So as you can see, I'm 5'9", Drew's 5'8". This is our seating adjustment. We're looking at probably, I'd say, 7 inches of space between my knees and the seat back. My feet can easily slide up underneath the seat. I'm overall just very, very comfortable. Acura has not provided a headroom figure, but it seems to be pretty decent, especially for someone like my height. Now, as far as the features are concerned, you're not going to have a ton in this Integra, which is something I'm a little bit disappointed to see. So here in the middle, No vents on any of the models since this is the fully loaded model. However, we are going to have 2 charging USB ports down here, which is a nice touch. And then if we fold down the center armrest, going to have a nice one with cup holders inside. No heated rear seats on the Integra is not going to be offered. And then looking at your door trim, we do have a decent one. We have hard touch on the upper part. However, all this middle part is going to be a nice red leather, and then we do have a bottle holder down in the very bottom. Now coming on up to the cargo department of the Integra. Now this of course is the Integra 5-door, so that means this is a hatchback, and you're going to be pretty impressed to see what we have back here. So in order to open it, they have integrated a nice little handle right here. You just push the button, and as you can see, it lifts up, which is something very unique to this segment. Now as far as the space back here, that's going to be the big benefit of having a hatchback model, is that you're going to have 24.5 cubic feet of cargo capacity in this Integra. That is a lot of space, guys. So if you're really kind of wanting an SUV, but you want all the driving dynamics of a sedan, well, this Integra might just be right up your alley, because a lot of its competitive set is going to be sitting around 10 cubic feet, like the Audi A3, as well as other offerings. So you're going to have a lot more space in this Integra. Now, I also want to mention that you can fold the seats. They are going to be 60-40 split folding. So you just lift up and push them forward like that. And as you can see, it does fold flat with the floor. So that's quite nice. And that gives you the availability of putting a lot of larger items that you wouldn't expect a sedan to fit. Now, as far as other features, we have some LED lighting. We have some premium netting here on the left side. And then if we lift up the floor, we do have this little area right here. It does not appear that we have a spare tire though. Now, I'm actually surprised to see that we do have a 4-way power adjusting passenger seat. That's going to be included when you go for the fully loaded technology a-spec model. Then if we open up the glove box here, look at there, our coupons are falling out. You know, we may be in Texas, but our coupons travel with us. These are some of the most important things we have. So our Arby's coupons, they can fit right in here. If we take out this, as you can see, they fit perfectly fine. It's not the biggest glove box ever, but it's certainly big enough to fit the coupons. Then up top, we have a sun visor, we have some lighting, we have a mirror, and we can also detach the visor as well as extend it out.
All right, guys, so I went ahead and popped the hood so we could take a look at what is powering this next generation Integra. So what you'll see when you open up the hood is a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. That's going to be making 200 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. And yes, that is essentially the exact same motor that is in the Honda Civic Si, but we do have slightly different tuning here with the Integra. Now, as far as some other aspects of the powertrain, you're going to have 2 available transmissions. So your base 2 trim levels are going to come standard with a continuously variable transmission. So that's the base and the A-spec. When you go up to the a-spec technology though, that unlocks you an additional choice. So you have the continuously variable transmission as well, but you also have the availability of a 6-speed manual for no additional charge. So far, Acura said 65% of the pre-orders have actually been the fully loaded model with the manual transmission, which doesn't surprise me because of course this is a vehicle that's famous for having a manual transmission. You do have downshift rev matching with that manual transmission as well. In case you're wondering, this is going to be front wheel drive only, but if you choose the model with the manual transmission, you do have a limited slip diff. But let's go ahead and talk about pricing, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be really excited about this aspect because it is surprisingly affordable. So for our base price, we're going to be coming in at $30,800. The A-spec is going to cost $2,000 more, so $32,800. And then the A-spec with the technology package, which is the model we have, the top model, that's going to come in at $35,800. Again, it's the same price between the continuously variable transmission and the 6-speed manual transmission. And of course, if you know anything about the Honda Civic Si or the hatchback sport touring models, it's really not that much more than either of those 2 models. Anyways, you guys know the drill. In order to respect all of our fellow journalists, make sure everyone has equal opportunity to drive this brand new Integra, we are under a driving impressions embargo until May 26th at 9 a.m. We can't wait to show you guys that driving section because you're probably going to like what you're going to see. So come back to our channel May 26th, 9 a.m. Eastern. You won't want to miss it. Put it in your calendar right now.
Well guys, thanks so much for joining us on this in-depth look at the all-new 2023 Acura Integra a-spec. We really appreciate you making it this far in this review, and if you enjoyed, please hit that subscribe button down below. Grow our Car Confections family. I promise you won't regret it. There's tons of automotive news, new cars like this, and it really helps us out to get more opportunities by you subscribing. Also follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.